Hello everybody, I am Owen and today I'm going to read you a story from Willard Price, South Sea Adventures. I'm going to read chapter 1. If you want to read chapter 2 with me, then please check out my other episode. Chapter 1. Bring Them Back Alive. John Hunt put down his phone. He sat for a moment, thinking, tapping his pencil nervously on his desk. The roar of lions, scream of hyenas, cough of jaguars came in the open window. Sounds strange to hear within an hour's journey of New York. They were nothing new to the man at the desk. He was an animal collector. It was his business to bring them back alive from the ends of earth, keeping them in his animal farm until called for, then sell them to zoos, menageries, circuses, motion picture companies, anyone who might have use for any sort of wild creature from an African elephant to a titmouse. But he had never heard so strange a request as the one had just come over the phone. "Hal," he called, "come in and bring Roger with you." When his sons entered, they found him studying a wall map of the Pacific. He turned to them. "Well, boys," he said as casually as if they were merely proposing an afternoon's picnic. "How soon can you take off for the South Seas?" "Daddy, don't mean it," exploded 14-year-old Roger. His big brother, Hal, with the calm of a young man about to enter the university, managed to suppress his excitement. Hal was not going to let a little thing like the South Seas make him act like a juvenile. After all, wasn't he an experienced animal man? He and his kid brother had just come back from an animal hunt in the Amazon jungle, a story already told in the book Amazon Adventure. They had brought home living specimens of the jaguar, ant bear, vampire bat, anaconda, boa constrictor, sloth, and tapir. Surely their father could not have in mind any creature of the South Seas that would be stranger or more difficult to capture than these. John Hunt looked at his sons proudly. Roger was still too young and too full of mischief to make a first-rate animal man, but Hal was a steady fellow. He was larger and stronger than his father. Leaving him in charge of an expedition in the Amazon wilds had been a risky experiment, but it had paid off. He could be trusted now with the bigger job. "You know, I promised you a trip to the South Seas if you made a success on the Amazon project. I didn't expect it would come in so soon, but I've just had an urgent call from Henry Basin. You've heard his name. He made a fortune in steel," remembered Hal. "What does he want with animals? He's building a private aquarium on his estate. He said he wants the strangest thing from the seven seas. One big pool reserved for, what do you think?" "Sea lions," said Hal contemptuously. "No, a giant octopus." Hal forgot his poise. "Not one of those monsters 30 feet across. How could we ever get it? He's asking the impossible." "But that's not all," went on his father, consulting a pad which he penciled his note. "He wants a tiger shark, a flying gongard, a grampus, a sea lizard, a dugong, a conger eel, and one of those huge clams that are fond of catching divers between their jaws, a manta or a sea bat." "Why? They grow big enough to sink a boat," said Hal in dismay. "How?" "A sea centipede," continued Hunt, "a sawfish, and a swordfish, and a giant squid. Yes," he added, enjoying the startled expression on Hal's face. "The squid that grows tentacles up to 40 feet long, has suction cups as big as plates, and an eye 15 inches across. The one that has earned for itself the pleasant name of Nightmare of the Pacific? But how would we ever get such big specimens home?" "You'll character a schooner with tanks big enough for 2 or 3 such specimens at a time. These can be transferred to freighters and shipped home." "Oh boy," Roger began to dance. "We'll sail our own schooner?" "Nothing elaborate," warned his father. "No yacht, just a fishing boat. You'll fly here from San Francisco, get a boat there, and take on a crew. Then you'll get to work. Of course, Basin's job is only part of it. You'll collect other specimens, large and small, that are demand in public aquariums. Perhaps I'll send you more assignments as you go along. It depends on your performance. You've been wanting to skip a year of school because you're both too young for your class. That may be a good idea. I'll try to give you more education in a year that you could get in a classroom. There are jobs in Japan, Alaska, Africa waiting to be done. Whether you get to do them depends upon you." He looked wistfully out the window. "I wish I could go with you, but there's too much I intend to do. Besides," he sighed, "I'm afraid I'm getting too old for that sort of rough and tumble." The eagerness of the boys contrasted with the awareness of the older man showed that it was exactly the idea of rough and tumble that appealed to them. "How soon can we get off?" Hal asked. "Just as soon as you can pack and get seats in a plane. By the way, before you leave, drop around to see Professor Soonvest. He let me know him the next time I send anybody down the Pacific Way. He has a project out there that he wants somebody to look on. Something to do with Pearls." Alright guys, we've hit chapter 2. If you want to read along with chapter 2, see my next episode. Bye!